Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Obviously, it was Easter weekend. And, you know, we never know, right? We never know what tomorrow may bring. Pope Francis, who had been battling health problems, was in the hospital, came out of the hospital. I mean, looked like he was hanging in there. Passed away this morning. So we're going to be getting a new pope. The war between Donald Trump and Jay Powell has now hit a even higher level. The trade wars hitting a higher level. I mean, just pretty much all the things that we worry about or need to keep our eye on got worse instead of better. We have another big down day on Wall Street. We are very close to the lows that we had, 3-4 weeks ago, right? Again, this is not by the dips here. We're not there. We're nowhere close to being there, especially with the rhetoric that we've seen in just the last 3 or 4 hours. On top of that, we had another major dollar sell-off. So right now I'm worried only because we saw this. Remember the last time, right? We had the Dow down, what was it, like 1,800 points and then down 2,200 points. I mean, the Dow lost like 4,000 points in 48 hours. Are we going to see a repeat of that? That remains to be seen, but it's got everybody kind of holding their breath right now. And again, the flight to safety just not there. The 10-year note should be lower today. It is not. A matter of fact, it got above 4.4 today. So this was, again, a similar setup to what we saw the last time. And it's interesting, over the weekend, a lot of people were saying, hey, it wasn't China that was dumping dollars. It was Canada, Europe, and Japan kind of working together. The story was that the Canadian Prime Minister kind of put this all together, and that our, I guess, major allies potentially were working against us. I don't know. We'll find out eventually, if we ever find out. I hope we'll find out. Someone will file a Freedom of Information Act, but it definitely caught the markets off guard because everyone just wanted to believe, well, if it's China, then it's okay. No, it really isn't. And that's the biggest problem. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And yes, we have a new all-time record high. We're well above $3,400 now on gold. And listen, I told you guys last month, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, telling you exactly what's happening. Gold is going much higher. How long do you want to wait? That's the question. How long do you want to wait before you decide you need to get a lot more diversified? And I mean a lot more. This thing is early yet. We haven't seen any of the ramifications of what is happening. A lot of what I'll call Trump loyalist guys like Joe Rogan and others are starting to say, hey, wait a minute. He really may not have a plan. And I think Donald Trump's been very much, I'm doing it by feel. Well, today, after questioning all weekend, rumors were swirling whether or not Donald Trump could fire Jay Powell, which already had the markets nervous. This morning, once again, hitting out on Truth Social, Donald Trump demanding preemptive rate cuts, questioning why Jay Powell cut rates drastically before the election, but not now. So remember that half a point cut, and then they did 2/4 point cuts when they really shouldn't have been right before the election. So Donald Trump kind of saying, hey, were you trying to get the other guy elected? He says that energy costs are way down. Food prices substantially lower. And, of course, okay, maybe an item or two is, but saying that there is virtually no inflation. This is Donald Trump on Truth Social this morning. And then he said there's going to be a slowing of the economy. So Donald Trump telling Jay Powell, hey, listen, the economy's starting to slow and it's going to get slower. You better do something. There's going to be a slowing of the economy unless Mr. Too Late, major loser, lowers interest rates now. So, well, listen to what Donald Trump does. Donald Trump being Donald Trump. We'll be back after the 800-951-0592. The Dow down 925 points right now. 38,238.2. So let's call it about 500 points away from the bottom of a few weeks ago. If we break through that, right, kind of know we got Tesla coming up today. I'm not expecting good things there either, so be prepared here. The S&P down 127. It's also within a couple hundred points there. The NASDAQ down 450. The 10-year note 437. Like I said, it's been as high as been over 4.4 today. That is not the direction it should be going, especially with the big down day on Wall Street. Crude oil's down $1.50. The U.S. dollar is just getting absolutely hammered right now. It is at a multi-year low. It does have a ways to go to get to, back to the levels of, say, the financial crisis, but not a very good day for the dollar at all. Gold absolutely flying, depending on where you look. I'll say gold's up 85, 90, $3,415 to the ounce on gold. Silver's up 27 cents. And right now, why is silver not going as we talked about? It's the industrial side. It's the slowdown side that's holding silver back right now. But all eyes are on gold. And it's very interesting because China's been laying out this strategy here over the weekend. They threatened to retaliate against any country that is going to try to help the United States isolate China. That hasn't happened, but it was one of the things. Remember, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that was maybe one of the goals, is to try to isolate the Chinese. Now, we know the Chinese have been major buyers of gold. Earlier, late last year, early this year, they instructed their pensions and their insurance companies to start buying gold. And during this plan, they're saying that they want both the pension and insurance industries now to go to what they're calling the upper limits of the pilot phase it was initially supposed to be 1%. They've now doubled that amount, saying, hey, buy even more. They're also issuing gold investment licenses to all insurance companies, 239 of them. By the way, assets of 36 trillion renminbi. They've raised the investment cap now. They're going to raise it to a total of 5%. So it started at 1. Now they said double it. By the way, we want you to get to 5%. And then they believe, listen, this was the part that caught my eye. Because when we're sitting there, okay, where is this run going? How much higher do we have? As I said, last week I told you when gold broke 3,300, I said 3,500 is on the clock. I didn't even talk about 3,400. Forget 3,400. It's already done. We're probably most likely going to see at least 4,000 this year and could be significantly higher than that. But there's been speculation now that the Chinese may be looking to revalue their gold holdings at $5,319 an ounce. It's kind of a weird number that they get to, but I'm gonna say that, okay, so now we at least, maybe is that gonna be where this next rally is going to take us? We're going to have to wait and see how that will work out. And then this morning, Webb Bush, Dan Ives, issues a code red on Tesla. So everybody be leery here. They're not expecting very good results. They're saying 15 to 20% permanent demand destruction for Tesla. And, of course, obviously they're one of the Mag 7 stocks, which, again, could set us up for another tough day. Tomorrow we'll keep waiting. We'll also get global PMI. We'll get durable goods this week. And the IMF, plus a bunch of earnings, as we talked about Tesla being one of them. So plenty of action going today, but the biggest piece of this has to do with the dollar. Donald Trump attacking Jay Powell again this morning, essentially, called them a major loser. Too late, Jay. Goldman Sachs now says they expect another 20% downside to the dollar here. So, I know it's a lot. But this has been the pattern. This is what we've been seeing globally here since the start of this trade war, is major countries dumping dollars, and not a little, a lot. And this has really gotten the market extremely agitated, extremely upset, and it's really causing chaos. And the funny thing is usually, here's the problem. This is how it usually goes. Once they go away from it, very rarely, Jason, do we see these countries come back to it in any significant way. They usually, okay, this is our new level of dollar holdings, and that's where it stays. We especially since the financial crisis, we really don't see these countries, the hedge funds, sovereign wealth funds, once they've kind of diversified, that's kind of where they stay. And really, it's been a slow, unwind of long dollar. And now, all of a sudden, Jason, it's become much faster unwinding of long dollar.
Well, I mean, a few weeks ago when the market started really tanking really hard, you come to find out that, Japan was wanting to dump a whole bunch, right? And so suddenly a whole lot of...
the news, I said, so while you were off there, over the weekend, they said it was possibly a coordinated effort by Canada, Europe, and Japan, all working in concert. The country that wasn't doing it? The Chinese, which is the one thing that people would be like, oh, well, it's okay if they do it. Why do I have a feeling that maybe China's going to join in here, and then we got a big problem?
Well, as I was, yes, you're right. I wanted to go back to the Japan part, though, because that was what kind of seemed like was getting this started. Now, it's stopped. Well, you have conversations. When you have a lot of worthless fiat currency, which is in treasuries floating around out there, it is like the poker table. And a lot of people, a lot of players at the table want to walk away with as many chips as possible, right, Joe? So you coordinate an effort so that you can sell at a better price. You said there was a couple of decent auctions in the last few weeks, but then you said there was also some really, really bad auctions. So it's a very volatile situation. So China holding on while the others are coordinating a sell-off, Joe. I'm not for or against the dollar necessarily. I just don't like central banking. I don't like the printing of money for the private interests of private companies. But the dollar, it can get pretty strong pretty quick if other currencies are failing, right, Joe? It's not like the dollar's completely dead and gone away and has no power at all. It still has a lot of power. The dollar can do a lot of good or a lot of damage to the average American. If China's not selling and you have all these other larger type countries trying to dump a bunch all at once, we know what Trump wants, right, Joe? Trump wants to print. And if the world goes into massive inflation, I don't think the dollar dies quite as quickly as the yen. Don't you think the yen is dying, Joe? we don't talk about other currencies. These other currencies can get destroyed. Okay, so you sold all your dollars, right? Now you got more yen, or maybe you're buying other assets. Where does that put you if inflation or any kind of market decline is happening? If you put all those dollars you sold, you put it into something else that's also being destroyed. It's quite the game that's being played worldwide, Joe. And I think this is why gold is just exploding, because when people and countries and big businesses don't know what to do, you put something into safety, right, Joe? You put it into safety, and safety is getting really expensive, Joe. It's getting expensive by the day.
Well, and again, I like how you put safety's getting expensive. Why does it get expensive? And it's really simple. The bigger the risk, the more it costs to be safe. And Jason and I keep talking about this. This is not, I don't know, right? Because they won't tell us everything. Donald Trump is screaming at the Fed about, you need to cut rates, you've got to do it now, which tells me somebody is telling the Trump administration something's major is going to break. I don't know what it is. Could it be, like I said, could it be the markets in Japan? It could be. Could it be Europe? Could it be the Chinese? Could it be us? Is it going to be these over-leveraged hedge funds? Who was it last week was talking about another Lehman moment? Right? And this is the thing that I think everybody's got to be aware of, which is the message that the safety markets are telling you, which is U.S. Treasuries not safe. That's what they're saying. Right now, the U.S. 10-year note should be like in the threes, like 3.8, 3.9, maybe 4 at most, right? Because everybody should be flocking to the safe haven. It's not. It's almost at, it's closing in back on 4.5. The dollar being dumped. Well, think about it. If we're not going to buy and sell a lot of stuff, why do we need all these dollars? And the answer is you don't, right? Hey, if you want to have a trade war, okay, we're going to hold less dollars, and you know what? We're going to hold more renminbis, or we're going to hold, in this case, it seems like, Jason, everybody's holding gold. That seems where the flight is going right now. It seems like it is the one true place where everybody's like, okay, this is safe. Look at China flat out told everyone, listen, in renminbi, now this is in renminbis, going back to 2002, gold's up 10% a year every year in China. They're like, yeah, maybe we should be doing that instead of buying dollars or something else. When we get back, one of the best other metal special coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. I know it's tough, but welcome to Mondays anymore. The Dow's down almost 1,100 points now. 38,050. The S&P down 140. The Nasdaq's down 500. The 10-year note 437. Gold's up $97 right now, 34.26. And I know a lot of you are like, I think you haven't even come close to missing it. Trust me on that. If you want to get into some gold, call us. We've got you. If you want to sell some gold, please call us. We'd love to hear from you. 800-951-0592. Now, listen, we talk a lot about gold. We talk a lot about silver. We don't often talk about what I'll call kind of the other white metals. Platinum, palladium, and rhodium. The one that when you look at those three other metals, the one that sticks out like the sore thumb is platinum. Right? Because platinum, more rare than gold, right? For, gosh, I don't even know, decades and decades and decades, platinum was always more than gold. You know, it went, outside of rhodium, because rhodium is really kind of newer in the precious metals. It's always been there, but it's so hard that hardly anybody mints any rhodium. Like there's one mint in London, they do one run a year and that's it. It's never around. It ruins all the machines and blah, 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 blah. But platinum, especially when you think about, gosh, where are you at? Almost 4 ounces of platinum to 1 ounce of gold. I mean, when we sit there, we look at silver, you're like, gosh, 100 ounces of silver, 1 ounce of gold, that's way out of line. That actually looks good compared to where platinum is right now. 4 to 1. Usually, it'd be 2 to 1 platinum, right? For you need 2 ounces of gold for 1 ounce of platinum. Not 4 ounces of platinum for 1 ounce of gold. We've got, and this is something, you just don't see them. You just don't see what we're going to offer today. We've got 700 1/10 ounce platinum. Some of them are Kookaburras, others are Britannias. Because like the U.S., gosh, I don't even know the last time we even minted a 10th ounce. Platinum Eagle. I don't know that we even do it every year anymore. You just won't see them. They're just like the 10th ounce gold Eagles. The only difference is it's platinum. We've got them today at $110. $110 for a 1/10 ounce platinum Eagle. Well, they're not Eagles. They're Kookaburras and Britannias. You know, platinum right now is sitting at what, $960, $965. A 10th ounce gold eagle. I'm the cheapest in the country. Jason, we're $400 on a 10th ounce gold eagle today. Nope, I don't have him. We'll get there.
Hello, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, gold has gotten really expensive. Gold's a monetary metal, and things are getting broken monetarily. So platinum, which will rebalance, it's almost the same scenario as silver. There's going to be a rebalancing at some point. But right now, with things being broken economically, for a lot of people that aren't paying attention, gold's going to keep running. So platinum is definitely a bargain, and platinum, it's going to catch up to gold at some point in the future. I mean, my entire life until the last handful of years, platinum was always more expensive than gold. If gold was $1,000, then platinum was like $1,300 or $1,400, right? And that's the way it was. You know, you got your gold card, then you got your platinum card, and the platinum credit card was always better, right, Joe? Now everyone's got their platinum credit card, and these people haven't figured out that platinum has been below gold for years now. But the price of platinum is definitely at a bargain price, Joe, for sure. So we're 4 ounces of platinum for an ounce of gold. That's a good place to be. They talk about the silver gold ratio. The platinum to gold ratio has never been better for you to buy platinum.
Yeah, and again, this is solely a play on number one, platinum. Below $1,000 is I think pretty criminal, but hey, so what? Take advantage of it, and then they buy 10th ounce. That's the thing. 10th ounce platinum. I mean, people will sell these things for $150, $200. It's nuts because they just don't make small quantity platinum very often. Usually, you get the 1 ounce and you get the half ounce, and usually that's it.
Yeah, I've never personally dealt with 1/10 ounce platinum. This is the first time I've seen this, so I know it existed. But I mean, you know, Joe, I can back up what Joe's saying, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to get in.
You've got these live. They're
I got
in Jason's hand.
Yep.
We'll have them down here in Phoenix in a few days. Gold just up $100. Geez, wow, $34.29. Platinum right now, $962. So 1/10 ounce platinum. We've got a lot of them. We got 700 of these. They're only $110. Get them and add them to the portfolio. If you think gold's a little pricey, which it's not, but if you do, jump in on platinum here.
The Kookaburras, which is about 200 of them. They come in. They're capsulized, so these are really they were kept really nice. They come in a shrink wrap tube of 20. So it doesn't have an actual plastic tube. It has the shrink wrap. So if you bought 20 of them of the Kookaburras, they all got a little capsule on them, and you can get them shrink wrapped in a group of 20. We only got about 20 of those.
Is it like a sheet?
No, it's like a stack of 20 capsulized little dimes of platinum, and then it's a shrink wrap so that it holds together. It's a cheap way to do a capsule or a tube, basically. But that's how it comes. And then we got 500 essentially of the Britannias. Those come in little tubes of 25. They're raw. They're not capsulized. So if you wanted to get a full tube, you're going to want to buy 25 of these. And so we got quite a few of those, 25 times 4.
A tube of 25, $2,750. 800-951-0592. Jason and I will be back after the break. 800-951-0592. The other white metal, talking platinum today. 700 1/10-ounce platinum coins, all the way down at $110. It's an incredible opportunity. Gold up $100 today. $20 gold pieces. Listen, look how cheap these still are. You know, when I say cheap, that's the wrong word. But we're at $36.75 for a 20. You know, I mean, really, when you think about it, I mean, you know, gold's 2,430. I mean, 10%. Jason, I mean, right? I mean, this is something where, you know, it's nothing. It's nothing here when we're looking at what's been going on in these markets.
Yeah, did you think 17 months ago, you'd be talking about selling 20s at $3,600? I knew at some point in the future we would be doing this because this is what inflation is. You know,
yeah. I mean, 10% would put you what, $37.75? I mean, you're at peanuts here. You're at it really is amazing when you think about it. And I'll say this: add some platinum here, especially at $110 on these 10th ounce. Get them. Get them while you can. A lot of updates. So ready? We'll go through this. Yardeni, they're the latest now, saying they got a 4,000 price target for the end of 2025. 5,000 for the end of 2026. Very interesting word out of China now. They may be looking to revalue gold at 53.16 or something like that, 53.19. I have the exact numbers here, but it's above $5,000 UBS. The case for adding allocation to gold more compelling than ever in this tariff uncertainty, weaker growth, higher inflation, geopolitical risk, global trade, and of course now the attacks on the U.S. Central Bank. Goldman Sachs. They reinforced today that there is upside risk to their now $3,700 an ounce forecast. I got to remember, Goldman 2 months ago was at like $2,800. Right? Then they went to $3,000. Then they went to $3,300. I think last week they went to $3,500. Now it's $3,700. Of course, and what are they saying? Oh, it's upside risk. What does upside risk mean? Well, that means we think it's actually going to be higher than 37, right? We know their number. They just don't want to say it, out loud too hard. $4,500, and then a lot of people now, Jason, drawing this comparison. This is interesting. Remember, we talk about this a lot when Richard Nixon, they called it closing the gold window in 1971. And they kind of labeled that the dismantling of Bretton Woods. It really didn't dismantle it, but it kind of did. Jason, a lot of people now are drawing parallels that, hey, we're having the same type of thing happen again. But this time, instead of it taking the gold away, and remember, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, we used to allow foreign governments, when their treasury notes matured, they had the option of taking gold or dollars, okay? We were running out of gold. At one point after World War II, the United States had over 20,000 metric tons of gold. We only got 8 left. That's when they closed the gold books. Okay, nope, can't do that anymore. You only can take dollars. And now they're saying, hey, wait a minute. We're kind of seeing this exact scenario playing out in reverse. these countries are saying, you know what? I don't want to hold treasuries. I want to hold dollars. And people, there are people out there that are talking about a 20-fold increase in the price of gold. That they said, listen, look at what gold did. You know, gold went from $42 to $800 in the 70s. Jason, if we're on a similar path to that, I mean, you're talking about. I can't even do the math in my head because I'm a public school prodigy.
Well, 20-fold from today's price, or
probably starting from that $2,000 price would be my guess, right?
40 grand. You know? I don't know, 40 grand gold. I mean, you're talking hyperinflation. Then why don't they just start? You know, it's funny how they're not using the word. That's hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is just measured by the as a very fast inflation. So it can be super fast, or it can just be super accelerated. I mean, what we had in 2021, 2022. I don't know if you can consider that hyperinflation. It seemed a little hyperinflative, right? But it didn't burn as fast as, Weimar Germany or Zimbabwe or Venezuela or Argentina, right? It didn't seem to burn that fast, Joe. But look, if we end up in a hyperinflative situation, everything's going to go up. And at first, people are going to get excited because what's going to happen? The markets are going to go up. People are like, oh, look, it's all solved. I wonder if that 3,000 points that went up a couple weeks ago was plunge protection and a little bit of a, hey, don't worry about it. It's all going to get inflated anyways, Joe.
Got you to throw a bunch more money at it, right? And then took it all back away again. Listen, get these 10th ounce platinums. $110, $20 gold pieces, $3,675 at 800-951-0592. Final segment. 800-951-0592. We have one of the other white metals, platinum, on a sale today. 1/10 ounce platinum. They don't make a lot of this at all. You don't see it very often, and you never get it in quantity. We have it today at $110 a piece at 800-951-0592. Gold, like we said, gold's almost $100 again. You know what? It's just kind of routine anymore, right? $3,425 right now on gold. $20 gold pieces, $3,675. But the deal of the day, definitely the 1/10 ounce platinum. They're Kookaburras and Britannias. They're really nice looking. We got them live. Jason has them live. We'll have them here in Phoenix by the end of the week. Throw some in there. Get some more gold put away. Throw some platinum in there. Like we said, 4 ounces of platinum to 1 ounce of gold. I mean, that would be the equivalent in my mind, Jason, of 250 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold, something like that. That's how out of line it is.
Yeah, it's way out of line, and platinum is a little bit. It's funny how these somewhat or industrial type metals are those prices keep staying down, and gold being really a monetary metal just keeps flying. So it's lots of levers and controls being exerted right now, Joe, as things look really bad. The mainstream media is just not covering how really scary this thing is getting. Gold does not go $2,000 to essentially you have to buy an ounce for $3,600, $3,700, unless very scary things are getting ready to happen, Joe. So we'll keep our eye on it for sure.
And this is someone just brought this up with it. Somebody just compared Jay Powell to potentially Arthur Burns. Guys, for those of you, that's a name you don't, that the bankers never want to let you know Arthur Burns. He was at the head of the Fed during the 70s. And we're starting to get these comparisons more and more, Jason. It is. It's a very, very scary time. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty, but something's getting ready to break. You can almost feel it in the air, and then you start looking and, look at the hiccup we had just a few weeks ago, and it almost looks like, Jason, are we going to replay that again this week? Are we going to replay it again? I mean, right now, the Dow's down over 1,100.
Yeah, it's market crashes don't happen in 1 week or 1 day. They happen over weeks and months. The COVID crash was 6 weeks, took 33% of the market out. And it bounced like a rubber ball because print behind all of the shutdowns, masking, and vaccination woes of the COVID emergency, Joe. It was all masked. They're going to have to find something big and ugly to mask this thing with, or we're looking at something that's going to get really ugly really quick, Joe. And it might just be the thing that happens. People will feel the pain, Joe. Unfortunately, I talked to Joe this morning, right, Joe? There are some people that are going to really get hurt by this thing.
Look out. Look out below is all I got to tell you. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're going to come right back.